Now the next important part is finding your keywords, but ones that aren't too competitive. Like, don't just, when you are going to KDP to type in your 7 keywords, don't just use like random things that you've thought of, that, because yeah, most chances they're either going to be highly competitive. Like if I was writing steampunk, and I just wrote the word steampunk as a keyword, unless I was like a big name author or something, it's got an 80 competitive rating. 100 competitive rating is most competitive on KDP Rocket, and 0 is least competitive. 80 is considered pretty highly competitive. So steampunk wouldn't necessarily be a good category to use as a new writer. But let's say I was writing lit RPGs, that's the one I'm writing in. Again, you've got highly competitive, like lit RPG keyword is highly competitive. So I'd scan down here, and as I have 7 keywords to choose from, not all of them have to be like 100% perfect. So if I was writing a lit RPG comedy, the lit RPG comedy keyword might be one I use, although it's got 70 competition score, which is high. But if I use that as one of my keywords, that'd be fine. But I'd want to aim for less competitive keywords, even if it's not one that's like a massive, like lit RPG or something. It's obviously got a lot of competition and it's hard to rank for. But even if you're, say, lit RPG core, that's highly competitive actually. Here's a perfect one. If I was writing a lit RPG dungeon core, it's obviously not very competitive yet. It's got 1,434 Amazon searches a month, but it's got a competition score of 33. So that would actually be a perfect keyword to use as a new author if you're writing, especially if you're writing a lit RPG dungeon core. I mean, you could probably use it if you're just writing a lit RPG and it has dungeons in it or whatever, or even a lit RPG in general, but it might not be as effective for you if you're not writing a dungeon core book. But yeah, that'd be a perfect keyword because the competition score is really low and you've got 1,434 people searching it per month on Amazon, and it's got nearly 5,000 in revenue per month, and you've only got 78 competitors. So yeah, that'd be an absolute perfect keyword for a new author. So the important part basically is the competition score. If you're a new author, aim for, say, 7 or 60 or below if you can. Make sure that you have enough people searching it on Amazon and just see how much it earns. Like if it's only earning $50 a month, probably don't bother, even if all the other variables are okay. It just means that that is an important keyword. But lit RPG Dragon makes 4K, but it's got a 95% competition score. Over 1,100 people searching it a month. Like if I was a big name author, I'd probably use that, but as a new author, definitely avoid that. So mix of low competition score, decent amount of people searching it on Amazon, and a decent income per month. And try to make sure there isn't too many competitors. Now, this works for all genres, like I've done epic fantasy here. And, you know, you've got all the keywords for that. Like a massive genre like epic fantasy, it's going to be hard to find keywords that aren't too competitive. But that's when, if your book is epic fantasy, but it's also got elements of steampunk, dark fantasy, romance or whatever, you type all those keywords into KDP Rocket and then search all this data and then go analyze. And then it'll tell you the data, and then you search for keywords that way. It can take a few hours. Just hunt through it. Have patience. I made a list of keywords. Always make backup keywords if you can. Because, yeah, if your book doesn't sell well from the get-go, and just maybe try a new keyword, but only try them one at a time. You know, you've got 7 keywords. Just remove one and put the new one in and see how it goes. If nothing happens, maybe put the original one back and then try another keyword from your list. Just get a bunch of keywords and try to keep the competition score at least below 70, but preferably below 60. Now you can use KDP Rocket for the categories, and it's a good tool again as well to get your whole list of categories. But I think I prefer doing it on Amazon itself. So when I go to Amazon, I look down here. Like usually when I'm getting AMS keywords, I'll for new books and stuff like that. I usually do that myself manually just so I can get the categories rather than using KDP Rocket because I've already got a massive list of keywords. But basically I just copy and paste all these categories down here. to a WordPad file and then organize them afterwards, basically. And I've got a huge list of categories I can use for my books. And then I analyze what ones are less competitive. Because when you're a new author, you don't want to get in massive categories like this. Humorous fantasy is a massive category. There's a lot of competition. I could have chose better categories for Raid Slayer. I just didn't, for various reasons. But yeah, this is a highly competitive category because you've got Harry Potter at number 1. And to see how competitive a category is, search number 1. So in this case, it's Harry Potter. Its rank in the store is 13. So yeah, good luck competing with that. But then go to number 20, or at least number 20, which again is Harry Potter. So what rank is this? It's ranked at 3,901. So this is an incredibly competitive category. So I wouldn't go here as a new author. I mean, I'm lucky my book is doing so well because it's number 10. By being so competitive and big, that means a lot of readers are coming to this category and searching for books. So a lot of readers are seeing Raid Slayer at number 10 there. But unless you're lucky, your book won't show in this category. At best, you might get in the hot new releases of the category. But again, that's going to be pretty competitive because it's a big category. So a popular category. I'll see what number 20 is in the rank. Okay, this is just a paperback, so I don't know how that works, but okay. So yeah, just definitely search for lesser competitive categories when you're going to upload your book. Now I'll show you what I mean by less competitive category. This is another lit RPG book. Hello, Riley Mercer, if you're watching. This one would be perfect. His book is ranked 19,911. If you go to this virtual reality category, the number 1, to get a bestseller tag in this category, you would need to beat this book, Galactic Badlands, by a fellow Australian author, actually. And his book is ranked 18,384. So this would be a perfect category if you're writing in lit RPG. All you'd need to get the bestseller tag in this category would be a book higher than 18,384 paid in the ranks. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's hard in itself, but if you do the rest of it right, then you should be able to get there, basically. So only use this if you're in lit RPG. Like if you're doing another genre, obviously don't use this category. And yeah, so this would be a perfect one to get a good rank in as a newer lit RPG writer. And notice the bestseller tag there because he's in virtual reality. So it doesn't even have to be too high in the store to have that bestseller tag.